Hello and what is up guys, it is Alarmix and welcome back to my channel. If you are looking to win more duos games in Apex Legends, you are in the right place. So this video is going to have three main parts to it. First, I'm going to be breaking down who you should be playing duos with. The second, I'm going to be going over roles in the duos, which is pretty useful, believe me. And the third, I'm just going to be going over some different gameplay mechanics that you should be changing to adjust to the duos mode. And I mean, I don't mean to brag or anything, but this is about as good as duos tips get. Okay, nah, I'm actually bragging. Let's get into it. So first of all, I am going to be going over who you should be playing Apex duos with. If you already have a soulmate that you're going to be playing Apex duos with, I still recommend you watching this part of the video. And in a second, I'll be getting into how to find someone to play with if you have no clue who to play with. In my opinion, I think that you should try to find one person to always play with. You will grow a bond and you will learn how each other will react to certain situations. It's really good if you know your partner is aggressive or not. So a really big thing that should go into choosing your duo partner is if you both have a schedule that really works for each other. You guys want to be playing a lot together. Like if you guys haven't played with a certain person or a group religiously, like you really don't know how good you can be in Apex. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to bring up pro players a couple of times through this video, so I hope that doesn't trigger you. But people like Tfue and Cloaksy and Shroud and his squad, they all play together all of the time, and there's a very good reason for that. It's kind of unbelievable how a squad of average Joes who play together a lot can beat a squad of a bunch of random, pretty good players. And if you guys are going to be spending a lot of time around a certain person that you're going to be playing duos with, you should probably enjoy each other's personality. Like, you should find someone that you can get along with. After all, this game is about having fun, and if you feel like you're constantly going to get chewed out or you're constantly arguing with this person, I mean, honestly, you might as well not play this game. Also, try to find a person that you can share constructive criticism with. If you guys are going to be playing together and trying to grow and build team chemistry, being able to point out little things, politely and honestly discuss different things without arguing is going to be so huge. Alrighty, now you know what a good duo partner looks like. So if you want to find someone online to play with, I will recommend you these following different apps to find people. And if you haven't used these apps, please go ahead and just try something new and download them. So if you're on console, I would recommend something like GamerLink or any other LFG apps. You can go to the App Store or Google Play and just type in LFG apps or specifically GamerLink. That was my favorite app while I was on PS4. You can go put out posts saying looking for a duo partner, and it really depends what app you're on. But if you're on PC, I highly recommend you joining a Discord server. You can go on Discord and search different servers. I'm in this Discord server just titled Apex Legends, and actually I know a lot of you out there just from this server. There's different chats in there. You can say looking for a duo partner and you can get someone to play with right away. This might sound a little bit weird to you, but I promise once you do it, it's actually not weird, and it's really cool that you get to meet new people like this. So this is the part of the video where I'm going to recommend to you guys to pick roles. So there are two roles because there are two people in your squad. The first role is that there should be someone playing aggressively up front, and the second role is there should be someone playing more conservatively back. And if you don't like this, please hold on because there's a pretty good reason for it. So I'm gonna tell you what each of these roles should be doing. They're pretty self-explanatory, but the person who's playing aggressively, I believe that person should be wielding more close-range weapons like, say, the Flatline, the R99, or the Peacekeeper. And because they have that more aggressive role, they will more rarely need long-range weapons. So something like the Flatline should be just about the longest range weapon that you should need. And the person that you should choose out of the two people to be the more aggressive person, I believe, is the more mechanically sound player. Like, either they really like to get into close range gunfights, or they really get a lot of high kill games. Or you can just choose whoever would fit this role the best. And I believe if your squad gets a hold of something like, say, a gold shield, that the more aggressive player should get it. So in between fights, he will be able to pop shield batteries super quickly. So the second player should be the more conservative player. The conservative player should be the person with like the better game knowledge and tactics than the other person, or whoever you think would fit that best. The point of having a conservative player is to kind of sit behind the aggressive person a little bit and to watch for things like third parties, or so if the person attacking is fighting someone and someone gets high ground up top to him, next to him, the person that's more conservative will be able to stop things like that. The conservative person should also always be keeping an eye on the storm. When you don't really have that set role in a duo, it's not like with 3 people, there will always be 3 people randomly checking. When there's 2 people randomly checking, you're gonna get caught in the storm a lot. If you always have one person thinking about the circle, I guarantee you, it'll just work out better. Also, if you are doing something like going up on a balloon, the person who's more conservative should have the set final decision on things. So if you both are going up the zip line at the same time, at the very top you're trying to decide where to go, when you both choose a different spot, it can kind of throw you guys off where you're going. And you know, it can kind of ruin your range a little bit if you're having to change directions. So the conservative person should have final decisions on things like that. And also when you're landing in games, the conservative person should have the final say on those things. Also, in gunfights, the conservative person should have more long-range weapons. Like, I think a really good combo for this would be something like an R301 G7. And also, I believe it'd be really good to have a bunch of throwables. So while your teammate is attacking, don't stick too far behind. I mean, you still both have to probably be shooting, but it'd probably be good with the support person to kind of have like a bunch of arc stars and just nade the F out of the enemies. And if you're using something like a G7, you won't have to have that much ammo in your inventory, so you'll have a lot more room for things like throwables. But also, while the conservative person should be doing all of these things, the #1 priority is to be listening for callouts from the aggressive person. So if someone gets low or he really needs help, you're always there shooting. And of course, the support person, it's not like he's just sitting back looking at the minimap or something. You know, he's still actively engaged in gunfights. It's just that he's keeping an eye out for those extra things. So I promise that this isn't a bunch of BS that I just came up with. There are actually people out there taking advantage of these tactics that you didn't know about. So just for example, I have to go to pro players again. People like Shroud, if you actually sit down and watch, anyways, from what I have seen of Shroud, in gunfights, he's always just going to town, just up front in fights, killing people. And if you listen to his teammates, a lot of times it seems that most of their energy is going to tactics and callouts and rotations and things like that. The support player can really be super useful to the aggressive player because they don't have to worry about things like circles or third parties. They're just up there going to town with things like gold shields and R99s and fully equipped for close range battles. And even though they're so equipped for close range battles, if that doesn't work out for them, you can sort of kill swap with your support teammate. So say the more aggressive player gets damaged too much, he can kind of go back around a corner, and then the support character, which should be around full health, can come on in. So also what legends you are using should depend on what role you're playing. So really, you should be playing what legend you're most comfortable with. But if these following combinations can work for your squad, you should definitely try them out. So my first combination is Bangalore and Bloodhound. Bloodhound should be the more aggressive character, believe it or not, and Bangalore should stay back. So my reasoning for this is that Bangalore can pop smoke up front, and then Bloodhound can pop his ultimate and see through the smoke. And if Bloodhound gets damaged too much, you can cover Bloodhound by popping smoke down, and then he can run away. My second recommended combination is Octane and Pathfinder. So Octane is really quick, he's good at rushing, and he can strafe pretty well with his stim. And with Pathfinder, if the aggressive person gets damaged too much, in some cases, you can pop a zipline down, and hopefully your teammate can get out of there. I mean, otherwise Octane can use a jump pad. And also Pathfinder is just such a great support character. Alrighty, now we're going to be getting into some of the more gameplay things that you should be adjusting. So my first tip in this area, be careful when rezzing. So unlike a 3-man squad, when it's a duo, if you're rezzing your teammate and you know there's people nearby, there's no one to cover you or to give callouts. And also, if an enemy team hears you rezzing, they know you're dedicating all of your power of your squad to rezzing and that there's going to be no one covering them. And also, something that kind of leads into be careful when rezzing. It's kind of okay if you don't res just to be safe, because in this mode, it's not like you're going to be facing a 1v3 anything. Like a 1v2, if they're damaged, can kind of be doable. So you can kind of even bait res and then throw like arc stars on the ground, or you can kind of hide around a corner and hopefully R99 someone. If you can catch one person off guard like this, you have a pretty good chance at still winning that 1v2. But please, I'm not putting down rezzing your teammate. And also, a little thing that you can adjust to duos, LMGs are a little bit less effective. So the reason why things like the Spitfire are so good is because you can practically mow through an entire squad with a purple heavy mag. I mean, LMGs are pretty good in this game, but I believe things like the R301, the R99, the Flatline, and the Peacekeeper can be so much better for you. They will honestly just out damage per second the other guns in this game. And the Peacekeeper, after the recent buff where they made it easier to hit your shots, it's pretty insane. But out of the guns that I just listed, and really out of all the guns in the game, you should use what you have had the most success with previously in this game. And also for the support role, they just buffed the G7 to where it also can hit enemies a lot easier. So if you're in a support role, I recommend you using a G7. It's pretty awesome. So that'll be about it, guys. My very last tip to you guys is to maybe share this video to your duo partner or to someone who wants to get better at duos in this game. We are really growing so fast on YouTube. Thank you guys for the support. It really means so much to me. If you're new to the channel or you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post weekly, informative Apex Legends videos just like this. Anyways, guys, have a great rest of your day.